Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily Donald, your go to for unfiltered, real news without the mainstream spin. We've got a massive episode today: Trump's tense showdown with Ukrainian President Zelensky, a total reversal in U.S. foreign policy, and executive orders that are already sending the left into a full meltdown. You're going to want to hear every detail of this one. If you love real news and real analysis, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. And remember, we go live at 1,000 subs, so let's make it happen. Let's start with the biggest story of the day: Trump's brutal meeting with Zelensky that's already shaking up the entire global order. Trump pauses all military aid to Ukraine after confrontation with Zelensky. Trump and Zelensky sat down in the Oval Office today, and let's just say, things did not go well. Going in, tensions were already sky high. Zelensky has been pressuring the U.S. for more military aid while refusing to negotiate any kind of peace deal with Russia. Trump, on the other hand, has been pushing for an end to the war, calling for immediate ceasefire talks. And then it happened. Zelensky pushed back hard. He accused Trump of weakening U.S. support for Ukraine and, according to insiders, straight up challenged Trump's foreign policy strategy. Big mistake. Trump fired back, telling Zelensky that he was gambling with World War III and that America wouldn't be writing blank checks forever. He then stunned everyone in the room by pausing all U.S. military aid to Ukraine, effective immediately. This means that tens of billions in pending military support is now frozen, with shipments already being halted before they even leave the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed that all further transfers are now under review. This is a huge moment. Not only does it mark the most dramatic shift in U.S. policy on Ukraine since the war began, but it also throws a major wrench into NATO's strategy. European leaders are reportedly in panic mode, with Germany and France scrambling to figure out how they'll keep Ukraine armed without U.S. backing. Meanwhile, Russia is celebrating. The Kremlin immediately praised Trump's decision, calling it a step toward reality. Predictably, the media is losing its mind over this. CNN's headline, "Trump abandons Ukraine, hands victory to Putin." MSNBC went with the very original, "Trump is a Russian asset." But here's the kicker. Polls show a majority of Americans actually agree with Trump's decision. People are tired of endless wars and want to see an actual plan for peace instead of just throwing more money into the fire. The big question now? What happens next? Does Ukraine pivot and finally agree to negotiate? Does Europe step up? And does Trump's move force a resolution, or does it make things even worse? Let us know what you think in the comments. Let's move to our next major development: Trump's new executive orders that are shaking things up domestically and internationally. Trump signs executive orders slashing environmental rules and hiking tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico. Trump isn't just making moves overseas, he's steamrolling through domestic policy, signing a wave of executive orders today that have both business leaders and environmental activists in full-blown panic mode. First up, logging and land use. Trump signed an order expanding logging operations on federal land, effectively gutting many environmental protections put in place under past administrations. This means more timber production, fewer environmental restrictions, and faster permits for companies looking to drill, mine, and develop federal lands. The administration says it'll reduce wildfire risks and boost American industries. Environmentalists are calling it a disaster. Next, tariffs. Trump just slapped a 10% increase on all Chinese imports, citing China's failure to crack down on fentanyl trafficking. But it doesn't stop there. He's also moving forward with 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico, saying it's time for them to stop taking advantage of the U.S. The Chamber of Commerce is losing its mind over this, warning it could cause price increases. Trump's response? Maybe they should make their stuff in America. Reactions have been wild. Canada and Mexico are threatening retaliatory tariffs, China is calling it an act of aggression, and American companies are bracing for potential price hikes. But let's be real, Trump's base loves this. His supporters see it as a move toward economic nationalism, protecting American jobs and industries from foreign competition. The question is, will it actually work? But wait, because there's one more executive order that's got people really talking. Trump declares English the official language of the US. That's right. Trump just signed an executive order designating English as the official language of the United States. This reverses a Clinton-era mandate that required federal agencies to offer services in multiple languages. Under this order, government agencies will now have the option to phase out non-English documents and services. Democrats are furious, calling it xenophobic and an attack on diversity. Immigration activists say it's discriminatory, but Trump supporters say it's about preserving American identity and cutting government costs. Some legal experts believe this will end up in court. But for now, it's official. So what do you think? Is this long overdue or an unnecessary culture war move? Before we wrap up, let's talk about one last bombshell. Musk and Trump team up on AI regulations. This is big. In a meeting today, Trump and Elon Musk reportedly discussed new AI regulations aimed at limiting the power of tech giants like Google, OpenAI, and Microsoft. The plan? Greater transparency requirements, restrictions on AI decision-making in government agencies, and limits on AI-driven censorship on social media. Musk has long warned about the dangers of AI, calling it a threat to civilization. And it looks like Trump is listening. The administration is reportedly considering an executive order limiting AI-driven political censorship on platforms like X, Facebook, and YouTube. Silicon Valley is freaking out. Google is lobbying hard against it, and big tech donors are pouring money into Democrat campaigns to try and stop it. The media is already calling it a dangerous attack on free speech. Yes, you read that right. Suddenly they're worried about free speech. But Musk is backing Trump on this, saying AI must be controlled before it controls us. If this order goes through, it could fundamentally change how AI is used in everything from content moderation to hiring practices to law enforcement. It's that big. All right, folks, let's wrap this up. Today's recap was huge. Trump shuts down aid to Ukraine after an explosive meeting with Zelensky. Executive orders on logging, tariffs, and language laws are sending the left into meltdown mode. And now, Trump and Musk are teaming up to take on AI censorship. The big questions. Will Ukraine finally negotiate peace? Do Trump's tariffs help or hurt the economy? And how far will Musk and Trump go to rein in AI before it's too late? Let us know in the comments. And remember, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget, we go live at 1,000 subs. You won't want to miss what's next. See you soon on The Daily Donald.